hit this one right here. I know we kind of been talking about it. I know we got a little bit of time left, but I want to go ahead and talk to your top 5 free safeties of all time. And this goes to the people in the chat as well. So I say I want to see some names out there and if y'all agree or not. So who want to go? I'm going to say, Mike, I'll let you go ahead and take this one first.
I actually got more than one free safety. I'll just give 3, man, because I think I'll just get this one out the way. I don't think anybody is better. This is the greatest free safety of all time. I didn't see all them old guys, the Wilson and all them, like Krause. I didn't see those guys, so I can't really speak on them. But Ed Reed, man. Ed Reed. That dude is the standard. That dude is freaking incredible, man. It's only one person to me, and he didn't get a chance to kind of play, fulfill his dream. But I'll let somebody else bring up that one. Hint, hint. But your boy Ed Reed is just incredible. I've seen this dude literally, like, on one side of the field. He ran from one side of the field and absolutely, like, on the right side, left side of the field, ran all the way to the right side of the field, catch the ball, intercept the ball, put his feet in bounds, and pick it up. Never seen I've never seen a free safety. I've never seen a free safety ever do that. He's the first one I've ever seen that. So Ed Reed is the first one, man. I got to give this guy some home team love. This is a little bit biased, but he doesn't get the proper respect that he do, man. And you're probably going to think I'm crazy when I say this, but if you guys have ever seen Scott Case play for the Atlanta Falcons, bro, that dude was a monster, man. That dude, he could pick the ball off. He had great speed, and he will knock you literally the hell out. Like, he will knock you clean out. You think Keanu Neal or something? Looking at Scott Case. You go back and look at some Scott Case film. I guarantee you that you'd be like, oh my God, like how this dude didn't get the respect that he's due. So that the second one is Scott Case. And the third one for me, man, I'm gonna give this dude some love. I was a Peyton Manning fan, and of course, he's my favorite quarterback of all time, Matt Ryan second. But this dude didn't get the proper respect that he's due. He didn't play as long because injuries, but Bob Sanders, I don't know if anybody remember Bob Sanders, but that dude was in free. Oh my God. Bob Sanders, like, he played both safety positions. He was switched. That's the thing I love about Bob. Like, he could play strong safety in certain situations, and then he'll be a free safety. So Tony Dungy did all types of things with him. So Bob Sanders, man, he went by 5'8", knocking people like he like he's 6'2". You know what I'm saying? Dude, 5'8". That dude would knock you the living hell out. So I got to give Bob Sanders some. Those are my 3, man. What y'all got?
I'll go ahead and go next on this one. Like I said, I have to throw this guy right here because this, like, I'll be honest with you, this guy was one of my favorite players in the NFL for a good little while. And unfortunately, you know what happened. My boy Sean Taylor.
Yeah.
That, like I said, that was my favorite player in the NFL for a good little while before tragedy hit him. And I don't think, like I said, I think I about cried when that happened. Because you talk about a guy that could knock your block off and had range, and he had the ball skills. He, like I said, he could literally catch it. Like I said, that dude right there was the total package. Even coming out of Miami with that stacked team, he stood out like a mug.
Oh, yeah.
Damn, hold on, boy. Let me go ahead. Yeah, that hurt. That, like I said, him passing away kind of hurt me right there because I talk shit about Dan Snyder and his decision makings, but that was one of the best ones he made. I'm gonna throw an old school one here for me. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's necessarily old school, but like I said, you know, people gonna say the Rod Woodsons, the Ronnie Lotts and stuff. but Steve Atwater, what he did, Christian Okoye, what he did the Nigerian Nightmare said everything right there. What he said to the Nigerian Nightmare. I wouldn't even say if he's really a free safety or a strong. Hell, he was just a damn safety. He knocked the block off.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, I'm gonna throw two more in there. My other one, I gotta put Brian Dawkins in there. These are the guys that I've seen. So Brian Dawkins, you talk about intensity. You talk about somebody that held folks accountable. Like we call him, like he was really the boogeyman back there. And like I said, I'm gonna throw one more in there, but I tell you one thing: this fool ain't one of them. He is not one of them. He is not one of them.
I knew you was gonna throw one right to that.
He is not one of them.
I knew you was gonna do that.
If most people didn't see one of the shows before, yes, that is Thomas Day Cool with football in between. No.
Hey man, I gotta get the Kevin Batomo. I gotta get him a bit of the Kevin Batomo. No.
Yeah, like I said, Cam Chancellor will be kind of he'll be an honorable mention, but these guys right here make Cam Chancellor look like Pee-wee.
Yeah.
As far as the safety position and how impactful it is. Cam Chancellor was a physical safety, but as far as being physical and being all around as far as playmaking ability, Cam Chancellor wouldn't hold a jock strap to these guys. And the last guy I'm gonna put on the list that I've seen is Troy Polamalu. You talk about anticipation and instincts. Bruh, Pittsburgh used to run their defenses to where they told the 10 guys to play. They told Troy Polamalu, do what you do. Do what you do best.
Yeah.
And for some reason, he always came up with the football. He could be 20 yards back, but he always ended up at the line of scrimmage when the ball is snapped.
It was a nightmare,
I don't know if y'all saw Pat McAfee's podcast when he talked about the fake punt that he tried to run, and he said that Troy Polamalu. he said Troy Polamalu said that he had Jesus on the side because he knew exactly what was coming. That's a bad boy, bro. Man. I'm gonna let you go ahead with his because we can go all day on these safeties.
Oh yes.
I agree, man. Y'all we call ourselves the heavy hitters. Y'all took all the heavy hitters. Everybody on my list, y'all pretty much said, man. Y'all just said everybody. Y'all just said everybody, man. But I'm gonna still go with it. I'm gonna roll with the punches. Number one, we got to go with Ed Reed. Ed Reed was my younger brother's favorite all-time safety, favorite player to use on Madden. He was one of those guys that just was instinctual. He could hit you. What I loved about Ed Reed is he could do everything. He was a ball hawk. He could knock your block off. He was a coach on the field. He was an intimidator. He was a leader. He was just that dude, man. Ed Reed was just that dude. And if Ray Lewis, he played on a team with Ray Lewis. And if Ray Lewis looked at him as a leader, and Ray Lewis was the leader of leaders. Rah, smart. And he leaned on Ed Reed a lot. Him and Ed Reed were like this. So Ed Reed has got to be number one in my book. Out of the guys I've seen, like y'all said, the Ronnie Lotts, the Rod Woodsons, I was too young and I really didn't get to see them play live. I seen tape on those guys, and you can pull it up on YouTube, their highlights and stuff like that. But out of the guys I actually seen play live, I would say Ed Reed is my number one. Number two is like y'all was saying, Sean Taylor. Sean Taylor was that dude. I ain't never seen nobody go hard in the Pro Bowl like he did when he basically tried to kill the punter on a fake play, where he was just like a little crazy. I told you to play football, you gotta be a little crazy. Sean Taylor was one of them guys that when he got between them lines, dog, he didn't care what type of game it was. All-star game. If he put them pass on, he was out there hit. He was just a professional like that, a blue-collar type player, but he just had an elite skill set. Ball skills, could hit you. He was just like an Ed Reed, just a way bigger version. He was like in Cam Chancellor's body, but he could pretty much do the same things that Ed Reed could do as far as range. He could go from hash to hash. He could intercept the football. He could come down in the box and be a linebacker. There was nothing on the football field that Sean Taylor couldn't do. He was just extremely gifted, God-given ability. So he got to be my number 2. Number 3, y'all talked about him already. Brian Dawkins, Weapon X. Wolverine is what they called him in Philadelphia. He was that dude with that dark shield. I know y'all remember in the NFC Championship game where Michael Vick ran for a touchdown and he basically knocked Vic's soul out of his body. I know y'all remember that play where Brian Dawkins was one of them dudes, man. He was one of them dudes.
I thought Algie
Crumpler didn't want them problems after that.
Yeah, he hit Algie Crumpler too. But that just shows you, like, Brian Dawkins was one of them guys. He was an intimidator, man. Behind that dark shield, he was known for having that dark shield. And he was one of them guys that was a playmaker. He could come down in the box. He could intercept the ball and be a ball hawk. He was in Philadelphia making plays year in, year out. He was that dude. He was the standard, kind of just like an Ed Reed. My fourth guy, I went in and out with this guy because really he was a cornerback, but I love him so much, and that's Charles Woodson. Charles Woodson was one of them guys. He was a cornerback when he was with Oakland, and then when he went to the Green Bay Packers, if you guys remember, he helped them win the Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers, and I think he won Defensive Player of the Year that year, if I'm not mistaken. But he was a ball hawk. Yeah, he was a ball hawk, man. He's another guy. Won a Heisman Trophy in college at Michigan, and he was a ball hawk, man. He was one of those guys that he could do it all. He could hit. He had that range. Very smart player, and he could take the game over. It's not a lot of guys that can take the game over playing safety. He was one of those guys that could take the game over because when he intercepted the ball, he was one of those guys that he turned into an offensive player. He was a lot like Deion Sanders. If you look up like how many touchdowns he has in his career, he's one of those DBs or safeties that have a bunch of career touchdowns, like interceptions and take it back to the house. He was one of those guys where just really cerebral, really smart, but also could do it all. Could hit, could cover, was a ball hawk, always around the football. And then my 5th guy is an honorable mention, and Mike talked about him. I always got to have that Atlanta Falcon in there. It's Scott Case. I didn't know a lot about this guy either because I didn't see him play a lot either. I was really young when he was playing. But when I went and looked up his tape, man, I thought I seen the second coming of John Lynch. That dude would knock your block off. Like, that dude was John Lynch before John Lynch. He was one of those guys that could hit. And I didn't realize that later on in his career, he actually went and played for the Dallas Cowboys and won the Super Bowl with the Dallas Cowboys. Yep. But he was one of those guys that, man, he would come up and hit you. And I think in one season, he had like 10 interceptions. So to be a white guy, because a lot of times, they say white guys are not, guys that play that DB position and they're not ball hawks.
Jason Sehorn.
Yeah. He was one of them guys, man. He was one of those guys as a white guy. Hey, Scott Case could play, man. Hey, he had skills, dog. I don't care what color dude had skills, man. He was a baller. If you guys got to go watch some tape on Scott Case. But when I went and seen them hits he was doing, if Scott Case played in the league right now, he would get knocked out of so many games. He would get ejected for some of them hits he was laying on people. Hey, he couldn't play in the current NFL. He would be getting ejected in some of these games. But he was that dude. But like y'all said, I can go on and on and on. It's a lot of guys, man. Rod Woodson was another guy that he was kind of like a tweener too. He played cornerback later on in his career with Baltimore. He played that safety position too. And he was another guy that was a ball hawk. But for a lot of his career, he played cornerback with the Pittsburgh Steelers. But he's another guy that was really great. Could intercept the ball, could also return punts and return kickoffs. He was another guy that could take over the game by doing other stuff on special teams, not just a defensive back. So, man, we can go on and on. There's so many guys.
One name I forgot to mention too. and I can't believe I didn't mention his name, but Donovan Darius.
You know what?
I love him.
He was a lot. He was a lot like Keanu, like he is today. Like he wasn't a great cover guy, but he was a great strong safety. Great strong safety. Like he oh my God, like he could cover tight ends, he could get interceptions, but like he would damn sure knock you clean the heck out. Like he was a great safety. Oh, yeah, Chuck Cecil. Oh my God, I forgot about Chuck Cecil. Oh
yeah,
man,
Chuck Cecil was one of them. Yeah, he was one of them guys too. Another guy on my list I forgot to mention, y'all, is Earl Thomas. He's another guy with Seattle. Y'all talked about Cam Chancellor, but Earl Thomas was a ball hawk. Early in his career, when he could still run, man, that dude could hit. He could intercept the ball. He was a ball hawk. And that's why we always talk about Richard Sherman. But like I said, man, the best makeup, the guy who could cover up many mistakes in that back end, Earl Thomas was that guy with the Legion of Boom. He was that guy.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I'm about to say, there's a guy in the NFL right now that I could put in there. If everything goes right for his career, is Kevin Byard out of Tennessee.
I'm glad you said that, Kstylz.
Kevin Byard. Yeah, he has everything that we talking about right now. Like I said, I know people probably wonder why we ain't mentioned Rodney Lott and stuff like that. Those are obvious. We know that's obvious. No, he don't need to be mentioned in this because we already know he's great.
Yeah, I mean the dude shut with his damn finger in the game and still play. Like, come on, bro. Like my whole finger came off.
If my whole finger came off, man, I'm crying. I'm crying home to my mama. I'm giving myself the powder toast for that.
Hey guys, it's one other guy I forgot on my list, y'all. There you go. We got to it before. There it is. Tyrann Mathieu, man. The Honey Badger. He's that guy that can play strong safety, free safety. He'll hit you. He'll intercept the ball. He'll go back on punt returns, run that thing back. When he was at LSU, he one of them guys, man. He can do it all. Ooh. He got that range.
You just said something that made me remember one, too. Aeneas Williams.
Yeah.
Yeah, Aeneas Williams was that dude.
Yeah, Aeneas Williams.
And I know that played elite. That dude played elite at corner and safety. Elite. We're talking about elite stats at both. That right there.
Boy, that hit he put on whoever that quarterback was that I saw. I can't remember what quarterback was. He blew that motherfucker out the game. I said, "Oh yeah, this to play with."
He was something serious.
All right. So yeah, I'm about to say we can go